I'm Shelly Turner with the Builderall team. In this video, we're going to learn how to create tasks for projects inside of Worckie. I'm going to show you two different ways that you can create tasks inside of Worckie. So the first method is to go to the left-hand side menu and go to Projects, and then find the project that you want to work with. And there's a tiny icon at the bottom right-hand side of the project card. And if you hover over it, it says Kanban. If you click that, that's going to open the Kanban board, which is a Trello-like board. And this is where you can add your tasks. The default columns or statuses for this is planning, to do, doing, and ready. There are two statuses that you cannot remove, including planning and ready. You can rename them, but you cannot remove them. Now you can change the name of any of these, and you can actually add additional columns based on the statuses that you want for your tasks. To change the name of any of the columns, all you do is click the name of the column, and there's where you can actually edit the name of the column or the name of the status. So that's where you can go in and change all of the status names. You can add additional statuses by going over to the right-hand side, and there's a little bar over here. If you click that bar, it will allow you to add a new column or a new status. And now you have additional statuses you can add in, and there's no limit to the number of statuses that you can add. Now that you've got all the statuses that you want for your task, the next step is to actually create a task. To do that, you can go in and actually just click the plus sign at the bottom of any one of these status columns. So just click that plus down there, and that will allow you to add a new task. So the first step is to name your task and then describe your task. The next step is to insert a deadline based on date and time that you want this task completed. The next field is where you indicate how long in hours that this task should last. And the next field is points. These are the points to be earned by the individuals that are assigned to this task. And the points can be used later for recognition or even to give out prizes to members of your company. The next field is priority, and you need to indicate the importance of this project. You can indicate that it's without gravity or without importance, and then the importance level increases from there. So the most important level is extremely severe. So you can choose no importance, a low importance, or a very high importance. For the next field, this is the indicator of what the progress of this task will entail. And if you look at the individual items that you can choose from, you can choose that this project or this task will not change, or you can indicate that it's going to get more difficult as you get into it more. Or you can say it will get less difficult as you get into it more. So you can indicate to the members that are on this task how difficult this will be through the life of this task. The next field is urgency. And in this field, you can indicate if this is a task that can wait, or if it's a little bit urgent or very urgent, needing immediate action. The next field is what project this task is assigned to. And if you click the down arrow, you can choose from any of the projects that you have available in your company. The next field is what status or column do you want to add it to in your Kanban settings. So here it will show you all of the statuses that you have available. And even though you click the plus sign on the planning column, if you made a mistake, here is where you can choose to change it into a different status or a different column. Scrolling down, we have the ability to add a checklist to this task. So all I need to do is click the add button, and then I type in the items that I want for my checklist. So as you can see, I've added 3 checklist items, and these items can be checked off as soon as they're completed for the task. The next step is to add the members that you want as a part of this task that will be completing this task. So when you click the members button, that will show you all of the members that are currently a part of the task. And then you can also add additional members onto your task. You can also add a cover image for this task by clicking Add Cover, and you can choose an image from your computer and add it into this task. The next item is need revision. If you enable this option, the task will need a review from a manager before it's allowed to be finished by the members of the task. This allows department leaders to make sure they're reviewing each task to ensure they're completed before the task is officially completed in the system. And the next step is to click the Create button at the bottom. And now you've created a new task. Changing the status of the task is super simple. Right now it's in the planning status. If I'm ready to release it to my members and say this is ready to be worked on, I can click and drag it over into the Ready column. Once my members start working on it, they can move it into the In Progress column. And once the members have completed the task, they can click and drag it over into the Completed area. When they complete the task, it will prompt them to list the end, date, and time. Once they put the date and time in there, they click Finish. For every task card, there are some tools there. So the first one is the triple dots. So if we click on that, that gives us more options that we can do with that task. We can edit the task. We can look at the analytics. We can copy the task. We can archive the task and make it available so we can look at it later, or we can actually unarchive it and bring it back into active status. We can delete this task. We can show this task, meaning showing all the information without editing privileges. And we can also create attachments for this task as well. If you'll notice on the task card, we have the due date indicated right on the card. And we also have the avatars of everyone that is included as a member of this task. So remember that we went through the project area to be able to add this task. We can also go directly to the task area, and that's going to list all of the current tasks. You have the ability in this screen to filter by project, to filter by status, to filter by priority, and to filter by member. Also, if you notice at the top here, we have an archived button. If we click that, we can see all of the projects that have been archived and actually choose to take a look at them, review them, but we can also reopen them and bring them back into the active task to be able to rework with a task if we need to. To go back to the task list, all we do is click tasks. So on the screen to create a new task, all we do is go up to the top to the green button that says task and click it. And now we have all the same information that we completed in the previous task that we added. So let's complete all of the fields. And so now we have a new task added in the task area. A couple of things that I want to point out. First of all, you've got the triple dots on the card. If you click that, you've got the ability to edit the task, look at the analytics, copy, delete, archive, and create attachments. You also have the due date showing on the card. It also shows the status of this task. The avatars indicate what members are assigned to this task. You've also got a mini toolbar on the bottom right-hand corner of this card. The first item is when you can start the timer for this task. This is a tool that members can use to indicate that they're actively working on the task. So if they click this button, it will actually start a timer, and you can see that there's a pause button. So the timer is actually keeping track of the time that they are in that task and working on it. Once they're finished working on the task, they can go back to this card and click the pause button, and it will actually track how much time they spent on that task. The next item on the mini toolbar is finish task. If you click that, that's going to finish the task. You have to put in the date that you finished, and it will show up in the completed status column on the Kanban board. The next item is Kanban. So we can click that and take a look at where this is showing in the Kanban. So it's dropped it into the in progress category. And remember that members have the ability to click and drag it where they want it to go. So if it needs to go into the planning area, they can click and drag it there. If it needs to go into the completed area or on hold, they can drag it there. So they have the ability to drag it and put it into any status that they want. Remember that if they drag it into the completed status, it's going to ask for a finished date and time. Going back to the task list, if we decide that this task is completed and we want to archive it, we can go to the triple dots and we can go to Archive and then click OK. What that does is it pulls it off of the active task list and throws it into the Archive category. And at any time, if we want to review that task, we can go into the Archive list and it will show that task and the information about the task. We can view it here. And if we want to reactivate it into the active task list, we just click this refresh button and it will pull it out of the archive area and back into the live task area. So if we go back to tasks, we should see that in the task list. Once activity starts for a task, you're going to be able to see some analytics. So if you go to the triple dots and you go to analytics, you're going to see who has been working on that task and how much time they worked. So let's review one more time the two different places that you can add a task. You can go into projects and then add a task from here by going into the Kanban board and then clicking the plus button on the bottom of any of the columns. The next way is to go directly into the task area and click the green plus task button at the top right-hand side of your screen. So that's two ways to add new tasks into projects in Worckie. I'm Shelley Turner with the Builderall team. In this video, we're going to go over analytics at the company level, the project level, and the task level. So let's first take a look at analytics at the company level. So here I am in the dashboard. I'm looking at my company, and here I can click the settings icon, and I can go over to analytics. And I can look at all of the analytics information that I have for my company. So in this area, I can see the number of projects that I have and the number of tasks that I have. I can also see how many tasks I have that are ongoing, how many are overdue, and how many have been finished that were overdue. I can see quickly how many finished projects I have and how many ongoing projects I have. I can also review this information by department. So I can look at each one of my departments and see how many projects, how many tasks, how many finished tasks, ongoing tasks, how many earned points, and how many points there still are to earn for each department. When I click on the department, it opens up the department information. And now I can take a look at the analytics for each individual department. So inside of here, I can see the points that they're earning. I can see projects and tasks. I can see the point levels, including how many earned points they've gotten and how many points they have yet to earn. And remember, this is based on the point value for each task that you've assigned. I can also look at all of their projects, including finished projects and ongoing projects. I look at how many tasks they have, including finished tasks, ongoing tasks, any finished tasks that were overdue, and any overdue current tasks. I can also take a look at their members. And in looking at their members, I can look at how many tasks are ongoing versus how many tasks are finished. And I can look at it by each individual member. The next area breaks out each individual member. So I can look at how many projects they've been assigned to, how many finished tasks they have, how many ongoing tasks, how many points they've earned, and how many points they are able to earn. So those are all the analytics for the individual departments. I can further drill down by member. So if I click the individual member, that takes me to the member analytics. And here I can look at the individual items, including if they're currently working on a task and how much time they've worked in total on their tasks. I can look at the points they've earned or how many they could still earn. Look at their projects, their tasks, and the time expected for a project versus how much they actually worked on a project. So all of that we got into by starting at the company level. But if I go into the department area, I can look at each individual department, and based on the department, I can go into their analytics by using the mini toolbar on the right-hand side and clicking the icon that's called Department Analytics. And that will take me into the same area for department analytics as when I went into the company way. I can also go into projects. And in each individual project on the card, I can go down to the bottom right-hand corner of the card and click Project Analytics, and that will give me analytics based on that project alone. And I can look at the status of the project, how many tasks, what the deadline is, the project progress, how many points are available to be earned for this project, finished tasks, and then I can also look at all of the tasks that are involved in that project and who's been assigned, what the status is, what the start date, deadline, points, end date, time worked, time expected, and at what percentage is it at completion. Next, I can go to the task area, and for each individual task, I can go to the triple dots and go to analytics. And that's going to give me information about the specific task, including who's been assigned to the task, when the deadline is, and then the time that's been worked on the task. So remember, we can get into these several different ways. The first way is going into the company area and clicking the settings button and going to analytics. And you can get into every level of where you want to look at analytics from there. Or you can go into each individual category, including departments, even members, projects, and tasks, and looking at the analytics for each one of those individual areas. So that's how you access the analytics for the company to make sure you're constantly reviewing and analyzing all activities on Worckie. I'm Shelley Turner with the Builderall team. In this video, we're going to take a look at individual members and how to manage and review their activities inside of Worckie. So I'm inside of the Worckie dashboard, and I'm going to go to the left-hand side menu, and I'm going to go to members. And this is where each member is listed. And from here, if you have admin privileges, you can look at anybody in the company. If you have department privileges, then you can look at anyone in the department as the leader to monitor their activity. So to see the information on any single member, you just look at that member, go to the right-hand side where the mini toolbar is located, and you're going to click the little icon that's called Member Analytics. And inside here, you can take a look at all of the activity for this member, including how much time they've actually worked. This is integral to using that timer. So one of the things you need to teach your members if you're watching time worked is that they have to click the start on the timer and then the end on the timer. And that will actually capture the amount of time they work on a task and on a project. I can also see if they have a current task that they're working on. So if they were in a task and had started the timer, I could see at that moment if they were working on a current task. The points area is how many points they earn according to the points that are assigned to a task. So you can monitor those points. In this particular instance, Heather has 1 earned point, and she also has 1 point that she can still earn by completing tasks. The next item is projects. That shows how many projects Heather has finished and how many projects are ongoing or open for Heather. Scrolling down, we can see the number of finished tasks Heather has had. And then we also have a broken down circular chart that shows how many finished tasks, how many ongoing tasks, how many finished tasks that were overdue, and how many overdue open tasks she has. The next item down on the list is a chart that shows the task that she's been assigned to and how much time was expected that it would take to finish that task and how much time was actually worked on that task. The next item down shows every project that that individual is assigned to, what the name of the task is that they're assigned to, the status of that task, the start date and the deadline date, how many points they can earn or how many points they earned for that task, what the finish or end date was, and how much time they actually worked on that task so far. So this is a great representation of how to monitor each one of your members to see exactly what their productivity is based on project and task. Each member has the ability to view their own information. Department leaders have the ability to view everyone in their department. Administrators of the company have the ability to view everyone in the company. So that's how you can manage and analyze productivity of each one of your members inside of your Worckie company. I'm Shelly Turner with the Builderall team. In this video, I'm going to show you the integrations that we have available for Worckie. So I'm inside of my Worckie dashboard. I'm going to go to the left-hand side and I'm going to click Integrations. And here we have the ability to integrate with Trello and import data from our Trello board to create a new project. So to do that, I'm just going to click on Trello, and it tells me that I can export the Trello board to a JSON file format and then attach it in the field below. So all I do inside of Trello is actually export the Trello board, and then I can upload it into Worckie. So I'm inside of one of my Trello boards, and we're going to go ahead and export this as a JSON file. To do that, I need to go into my settings. So inside of Trello, I'm going to go to the top right-hand side to the little triple dots, and that's where the main menu is. And on the main menu, I'm going to click More. And then from here, I'm going to go to Print and Export. And then I'm going to choose Export as JSON. So when I click that, it comes up with a crazy file. If I right-click and choose Save As, that's going to allow me to save this file on my computer as a JSON file. That's the default. So I'm going to send it to my download area so I can find it easily, and then I'm going to click Save. So now I've saved the file. Now I can upload it into Worckie. I'm back in Worckie in my integration area, and I need to upload my JSON file. So I'm going to click Choose File, and there's my Trello file right there. So I'm going to click on that and then click Open, and then click Next. So I have to choose the initial member that is assigned to this project. So I'm just going to click on here and make sure that the person that I want to be a part of the project is chosen. And once I choose the member, now I'm going to go to Next. So it's going to create a project name for me, a project description for me. I need to choose what department it's going to go into. And then I also need to choose a project deadline. And then the next step is to import. It's given me a successful notification that we've imported it. So now we can go into the projects area and take a look at what it imported. So I'm going to go to projects, and here you can see the project was created by the Trello board import. And I'm going to check the Kanban area. And inside the Kanban area, it actually imported all of my status columns, and it imported all of my tasks. So everything that was on that Trello board has now been imported into Worckie, and I can now start working with it inside of Worckie. So that's how you import a Trello board into a project inside of Worckie. I'm Shelly Turner with the Builderall team. In this video, we're going to talk about how to use the internal live chat option inside of Worckie. So I'm in the Worckie dashboard, and I'm going to go over to the left-hand side, and I'm going to choose Chat. And inside here, this is where I can set up a back and forth two-way chat with any member of Worckie inside my company. So all I need to do is go up to the top right-hand corner and click the plus sign to create a new chat. And then I'm going to choose the person that I'd like to chat with. That creates a chat window, and now I can start typing in my chat message to them. When you create the chat and you add the individual to the chat and send them a message, they will get an indicator that they've just been added to a new conversation, and they can jump into chat and actually message you back, and you can have a complete conversation through chat. The other amazing thing about this internal live chat system is you can create groups. So if you click the plus sign and you create a new group, you can create a chat with multiple people, more than just two people, so that you can chat as a group about projects or tasks. So that's how you use the live chat feature inside of Worckie. I'm Shelly Turner with the Builderall team. In this video, I'm going to show you how to add a new project into your Worckie company. So I'm going to go to the left-hand side of the screen and I'm going to click Projects. And here you can view all existing projects and you can create additional new projects. I'm going to create a new project by going to the top green button with the plus sign that says Add Project, and I'm going to click that. And inside here, I have to come up with a project name, and then I can provide a description of that project. Once you put your description in there, you need to decide on a deadline of when you want the project to be completed. Remember that when you set the deadline, it includes the date and the time that you want the project completed. Next, you need to decide what department this project goes into. If the department doesn't exist, you can click the green button that has the plus sign on it and create a department on the fly. The next item is to add members. If you want to add members into this project because they're involved with completing tasks for the project, you can click the blue members button, and that will show you who is actually a part of the project already, and it allows you to add additional members into the project. Once all of that's configured, you just click Create. And now the project is created. There's a few things that you can do with the project. So on the project card, there are triple dots. If you click those triple dots, you have the ability to edit the project. You can look at the analytics or the progress of the project, or you can delete the project. You also have a mini toolbar right on the card. The first item is a Kanban, which allows you to start setting up tasks and organizing those tasks according to status. And you also have a project analytics icon that allows you to go in and look at the progress of that project. A couple of things to note. You'll see an indicator of whether this project is still open or if it's closed. You'll also see an indicator of when the project due date is. And you'll also see avatars indicating who is a member of this project. In the project dashboard, you have the ability to sort and filter the projects that you're looking at. You can create a specific order by, you can filter by status, you can filter by deadline, and you can filter by members. So that's how you create and manage projects inside of your Worckie company. I'm Shelly Turner with the Builderall team. In this video, I'm going to show you how to add new members to your Worckie company. So I'm inside of Worckie, and on the left-hand side menu, I'm going to choose Members. And inside here, I can see the current members, and I can also choose to invite new members by going up to the top right-hand side and clicking the blue button that says Invite. Here, all I need to do is make sure to enter their email. And I can also choose what department I want to add them to. I can choose one department or I can choose multiple departments. If you need to add a department, you can click the plus button and add a department on the fly. You can also edit permissions here by allowing a new member to be an admin. This means they are a company admin and they have their permission to change anything across the entire company. The next one is a leader. This field allows the individual to be a department leader and they can manage everything inside of a specific department. Remember that if you're adding an individual to multiple departments and you turn on that they're a department leader, they will be the leader and they will be able to manage everything in all departments that you've selected. Once you've added the email and you've chosen the departments and you've configured the permissions, then you click Invite. And they will get an email with invitation information to be able to access Worckie with their new username and password to log in. And any permissions that you set for them will be activated immediately. When you add a new person to Worckie, they have to accept the invitation. And there are times that they may not get the invitation email, whether it doesn't arrive in the inbox or it ends up in the spam box. If you need to resend, you can actually go to the resend icon on the mini toolbar on the right-hand side, and it will resend their invitation to them. You have several different capabilities with every single member. On the icon toolbar on the right, the first icon is Show, And this allows you to see the information about the member. The next icon is Edit. That allows you to edit the information about the member. The next icon is Delete if you need to delete a member. The next one is to resend the invitation email. And the last one is to look at member analytics. Once they start working on tasks, this will start collecting data on them, and you can review analytics on each one of your members. It's also really important to remember that every single member needs to be assigned to at least one department. And if you have a member that you want to work on a specific project, you need to add them as a member to that project, and you need to add them into tasks that you want them to complete. So at each level, you need to add in the members according to what you want them to access and what projects you want them involved in. So you can add them to departments, to projects, and to tasks. Also, as soon as a member is invited and becomes a member of your company, you can then chat with them. You can initiate a chat and start texting back and forth to discuss projects or tasks. So that's how you add members into the Worckie company. I'm Shelly Turner with the Builderall team. In this video, we're going to learn how to add departments into your Worckie company. So I'm inside of the Worckie dashboard. I'm going to go to the left-hand side menu and choose Departments. On this screen, I can choose to edit an existing department or I can create a new one. So let's create a new department. I'm going to go up the top, the green button that has the plus sign and says Department. I'm going to click that. And that allows me to create a new department. So I'm going to type in a name and then click Create. And now I've created a new department. In either one of these departments, I have several different items that I can use to be able to add members and edit the department. So on the right-hand side, I've got a mini toolbar. The first icon is so I can add members to this department. If I click that Show Member icon, I can see who is currently a member, and I can also click the blue button to add additional members into this department. The second icon is the Edit icon. I can click that to edit the name of the department or to add additional members. The third icon is the Delete icon. That allows you to delete the department. And the last icon, once you start collecting data on that department, you can look at department analytics to watch and monitor what's happening inside of that department. So that's how you add new departments inside of Worckie.